Hey guys, Mr. Jalapeno here with another episode of Jalapeno Drywall. And on today's project, we're going to be repairing some settling cracks on the drywall. This is a very common repair that I do, especially on newer homes. They're still kind of settling, so it creates these little settling cracks like I said. So first thing you want to do is lay down some plastic, that way you don't make a mess everywhere. And then I like to drill a hole at the end of the crack. They've told me that this helps it not keep cracking. Not sure how much truth there is in that, but we'll do it anyways. Then go ahead and grab some drywall screws, and I like to put the screws about an inch away from the crack. Luckily, there was backing behind the drywall. A lot of the times there is no backing, so you might have to open up the drywall and add some backing yourself. And once you're done putting all the screws, go ahead and remove any loose pieces that might be there. I did have to put a little bit of screws on the corner bead because it ended up cracking a little bit. Next, you're going to want to get your utility blade and cut a little valley on the crack, or like a little beveled edge. I had to cut a bigger valley on this one just because there was a lot of loose material and I just wanted to remove all of it. But anyways, once you're done with all that, just go ahead and grab some Easy Sand 5 to pre-fill that valley. You can also just use regular joint compound, but that takes forever to dry compared to like this Easy Sand 5 where it takes about 10-15 minutes before I can apply the second coat, which is super convenient. And after you pre-fill that valley, go ahead and apply some mesh tape. Mesh tape to the hot mud is kind of what rebar is to concrete. It's going to help strengthen this area, that way it's not going to crack anytime soon. Because remember, I do cosmetic work, I don't do foundation work, but I do try to take as many steps as possible so that this crack doesn't come back. So now just go ahead and grab your 6-inch putty knife to apply the hot mud over the mesh tape. I always like to say when you're applying the mud, it's kind of like when you're putting, like peanut butter on your toast. And so once you're done applying it with your 6-inch, just go ahead and grab your 12-inch blade and go over it. That way it's going to be nice and flat and not bumpy. Let it dry for about 15 to 20 minutes and then go ahead and apply a super thin second coat. You don't want it to look bumpy, so just make sure you're applying thin coats. And then as you can see here, this is cracking a little bit as well. And instead of using that Easy Sand 5, which is not as flexible, I'm going to use this extreme stretch caulking. That way it'll kind of stretch out a little bit in case there's any movement. And if you do like this video, just make sure to like and follow for more content like this. And now just let it dry overnight. I was doing other repairs around the house, so I did have to come back the next day to paint. But once everything's nice and dry, go ahead and sand it down, prime it, and paint it. One thing I do like about flat walls is that I don't have to take my compressor out for that knockdown texture I always do. Oh, and if you do want to get any of the tools or materials that I used here in this video, just go to my Amazon storefront and I have everything pretty much there. They are affiliate links, so I do benefit monetarily if you're kind enough to use them. It's a great way to support the channel, so I really appreciate it. And these types of repairs here are not necessarily too hard, they're just a little tedious, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Jalapeno Solutions. Boom!